For nearly 3 generations, the modern world has operated under a massive unspoken assumption that the global oceans are a permanently open highway, guided by international maritime law and guaranteed by the overwhelming naval supremacy of Western carrier strike groups. The great shipping lanes have felt less like contested geopolitical battlegrounds and more like borderless conveyor belts for global trade. Today, over 80% of everything we consume moves by water. It is the invisible circulatory system of global capitalism. But this open highway was always an illusion. The vast, blue expanses of the open ocean are largely irrelevant to international conflict. What matters are the gates. The world's primary maritime trade arteries do not flow over infinite horizons. Instead, they are forced by unyielding physical geography to funnel through a handful of precarious, narrow bottlenecks. These are the maritime chokepoints. Strips of water sometimes no wider than a commercial runway, where billions of dollars in energy, technology, and grain are compressed into tight, predictable shipping lanes. For decades, these throat lines were kept open by geopolitical stability and traditional naval deterrence. But in 2026, that deterrence is shattering. The rise of low-cost asymmetric drone warfare, localized missile networks, and automated surveillance has handed regional actors unprecedented leverage. From the freezing corridors of the high north to the volatile depths of the Persian Gulf, the gates are shutting. The era of uncontested oceans is officially over. Welcome to Atlas GeoPulse. To understand the fragmentation of the global oceans, we must begin at the top of the world. For millennia, the Arctic Ocean was protected by an impenetrable shield of perennial ice, a natural geographic barrier that rendered the high north functionally irrelevant to commercial shipping and traditional naval surface maneuvers. But as the polar ice cap recedes at an accelerating pace, a new ocean is emerging in real time. And with it, a scramble for control over the world's newest maritime chokepoints. Russia has long viewed the high north as its primary strategic bastion. Over the past decade, Moscow has systematically remilitarized its northern coastline, reopening dozens of Soviet-era bases, deploying sophisticated S-400 air defense networks, and reinforcing its northern fleet at Severomorsk. Their goal is clear: to dominate the northern sea route, a passage that cuts transit times between Europe and Asia by up to 40%, bypassing Western-controlled waters entirely. But the primary naval flashpoint lies further south, at the Greenland-Iceland-United Kingdom Gap, the GIUK Gap. This is the narrow oceanic gateway through which Russian submarines must pass to access the wider Atlantic Ocean. In response to Russia's underwater surge, NATO has quietly deployed an invisible countermeasure, Task Force X-Arctic. This is a fundamental paradigm shift in naval geography. Rather than risking multi-billion-dollar crude destroyers in the treacherous polar climate, the alliance has turned the high north into an automated naval chokepoint network. Utilizing a tightly integrated web of autonomous underwater vehicles, sea-skimming aerial drones, and AI-driven undersea acoustic sensors, Task Force X-Arctic tracks the precise acoustic signature of every Russian vessel in real time. The Arctic is no longer an impassable wilderness. It is a fully monitored digital trapdoor. To understand the complexity of global maritime chokepoints, we must travel from the cold, deep waters of the Arctic to the sun-bleached shores of the Persian Gulf. This is the ultimate energy bottleneck. Measuring just 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, the Strait of Hormuz is the sole maritime exit from the Persian Gulf. Through this claustrophobic corridor, 20% of the world's petroleum and over a third of all liquid natural gas flows daily. It is mathematically the most important oil artery on the planet. Unlike the vast, deep ocean of the Arctic, Hormuz is a confined high-traffic waterway, easily visible from land and monitored intensely from space. It has long been a zone of friction, the primary leverage point for regional powers aiming to exert pressure on global markets. But the landscape of control here is changing rapidly. While the Strait is protected by international convention ensuring free passage, the rise of asymmetric naval warfare has permanently complicated traditional deterrence. Traditional deep-water carrier strike groups, while formidable, are forced to operate in a tightly constrained environment, vulnerable to anti-ship ballistic missiles, swarms of fast attack craft, and sophisticated naval mines. State and non-state actors alike have refined techniques that maximize disruption without crossing the threshold of conventional war. In the 2019 tanker war, 6 oil vessels were targeted with sabotage operations, demonstrating the extreme vulnerability of the infrastructure. The defense of the Strait now relies less on visible force and more on a digital shield. Advanced signal intelligence, radar networks, and automated coastal batteries designed to track every hull. The battle for Hormuz is no longer a blue water surface game. It is a tactical contest for visibility and localized kinetic dominance. The energy pulse from the Persian Gulf, we move southwest to the ultimate stress test of modern maritime commerce, the Red Sea corridor. Flanked by the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait in the south and the Suez Canal in the north, this narrow strip of water acts as the primary economic bridge between Europe and Asia. Under normal conditions, it carries over 12% of all global trade, including billions of dollars in consumer goods, electronics, and refined petroleum. But the geographic vulnerability of this corridor is absolute. At the southern gate, the Bab-el-Mandeb, literally translated as the Gate of Tears, compresses international shipping into a channel just 18 miles wide. Recent history has exposed the fragile nature of this bottleneck. The proliferation of anti-ship ballistic missiles, land attack cruise missiles, and sea-skimming explosive drones has completely altered the risk calculus for global shipping firms. Low-cost asymmetric weapons, deployed from rugged coastlines, have effectively neutralized the protective umbrella of traditional naval defense networks. When this gateway is compromised, the economic shockwaves are instantaneous. To avoid the strike zones, massive container ships are forced to abandon the Suez Canal route entirely. Instead, they execute a massive multi-week detour around the entire continent of Africa via the Cape of Good Hope. This geographic detour adds over 3,000 nautical miles to the journey, spiking fuel consumption, delaying supply chains by weeks, and instantly inflating global container shipping rates. The crisis in the Red Sea proves that regional instability at a single maritime gate can single-handedly reshape global macroeconomic realities. Traditional naval dominance can no longer guarantee the uninterrupted flow of global commerce through these narrow straits. When we analyze maritime choke points, our eyes naturally focus on the surface, on the massive container ships, oil tankers, and naval fleets navigating narrow straits. But the most critical vulnerability of the 21st century lies completely hidden from view, resting in the absolute darkness of the seafloor. This is the subsea blind spot. Over 99% of all intercontinental digital traffic, from global financial transactions and cloud data to classified military communications, is carried not by satellites, but by a dense network of subsea fiber optic cables. These cables are the literal physical infrastructure of the internet, and by nature of global geography, they are forced to converge in the exact same maritime choke points that restrict surface shipping. In shallow choke points like the Strait of Malacca, the Red Sea, and the English Channel, dozens of these fragile garden hose-sized cables lie bunched together on the ocean floor. This extreme concentration creates an unprecedented strategic vulnerability. A coordinated hybrid warfare operation utilizing specialized deep-sea salvage vessels, commercial trawlers with modified anchors, or autonomous subsea drones could sever multiple critical lines simultaneously. The geopolitical fallout of such an action would be catastrophic. Within seconds, entire continents would experience severe data throttling. Global financial markets would fracture, cross-border banking would freeze, and military command structures would lose real-time visibility over foreign theaters. Traditional naval power is built to defend surface trade, but it remains structurally unequipped to police thousands of miles of dark, underwater infrastructure. As the world becomes increasingly reliant on instantaneous data, the ultimate choke point is no longer just about stopping the flow of oil or cargo. It is about the power to instantly blind the global. The fragmentation of our oceans is not a temporary disruption. It is the new structural reality of international relations. As we have seen from the automated corridors of the Arctic to the volatile choke points of the Middle East, the historic paradigm of free, uncontested seas is coming to an end. The proliferation of low-cost asymmetric technology has permanently shifted the balance of power away from distant blue water navies and into the hands of localized regional actors. In this new era, global security will not be defined by who controls the vast expanses of the open ocean. It will be dictated by who possesses the technology, the automation, and the kinetic leverage to open or shut the world's primary economic gates. The lines on the map are hardening, and the throat lines of global commerce have never been more exposed. Thank you for tuning into this investigative report. If you want to stay ahead of the critical shifts reshaping global geography, military technology, and international security, make sure to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel. This is Atlas GeoPulse, signing off.